This is Adomako Man, and you are tuning in to the Producing Peace podcast, a podcast that celebrates the vibrant tastemakers shaping NYC's cultural landscape. From artists to activists, we spotlight individuals driving positive change and shaping the future of our city.
I'm sitting with someone who's collaborated with top brands like Michael Kors and styled Alton Mason for Numero Netherlands. With a history of working with Shensia and a flair that Rowdy Rebel fans would admire, this industry powerhouse is making waves. Join me as I chat with talented Ayeisha Henry, owner of Touched by Ishie. Hi.
Hi.
I'm so excited to be sitting with you.
I'm so excited too.
It's been such a long time since I last seen you, because the last time I saw you, you were doing my hair.
Perfect, yeah.
And then we became like social media friends, and we stayed in touch. And I've seen all the things that you've done, and you've done like some amazing things. You're always like this like fly, swaggy chick girl that I see.
You know, I got a standpoint, like.
It's like you always are so stylish, and so I'm like, I want to sit down and talk to you. And so I first wanted to start off with like, what's your background, like where are you originally from?
So I'm originally from Jamaica.
Okay.
It's a little small town in Jamaica called Ocho Rios, and it's actually the #1 tourist attraction. So that's where I'm from.
What was it like growing up there?
It was good. I really had an amazing life. My parents ensured to that. I can't say I had a struggling life, honestly, because my mom and my dad worked so hard to give their kids everything they wanted, so they wouldn't be lax. So I would say it was pretty good, very fun, because the family lived so close together. So yeah, I used to like be around them, and little girls, little boy stuff, like little cousin stuff. So yeah, it wasn't bad. It was good.
I love hearing that because so many of us from where we come from as being Black people,
Right.
like all have different types of experiences. So it's exciting to hear that you had a delightful upbringing. Can you walk me through like what did it like, growing up with privilege, what did that look like in Jamaica? You said that you had your family. Would you go into like house parties or?
It looked, how would I say it looked? To me, privilege didn't really matter to me. Like, I just wanted to be happy. I'm just always that person. I just wants to be happy. I want love to flow all the way around. However, it did bring across a lot of hate, because when I was going to school, the girls always feel like, okay, I'm hype and stuff like that, and I didn't feel like that. I'm just feel like I've been a jovial, outspoken person, a people person when I need to be. So yeah, like I feel like the privilege didn't matter to me, but it was good because then I had friends that didn't have the privilege that I have, and it was good that I was even able to help one or two of them. So yeah.
So then, like, what drew you to come to New York City? Like,
I would say when I came to New York City in like 2015,
oh, wow.
I had an accident in 2014. And it really took a toll on me, on my mental and stuff like that. I was dating somebody, I had a bad breakup, the bad accident, me and my friends like falling out left and right. So it's like it became so much on me. Like I deactivated my social media, and because I used to travel prior to that, like back and forth before I migrated here. So yeah. So
did you have family here prior to?
Yeah, I have a lot of family here. I have family all over Bronx, everywhere.
Okay.
So, and my brother lives here, and so I used to visit him a lot. So, after everything just began, I just literally told my dad, like, you know what, I feel like I want to go breathe out for a minute, because everything was just coming at me. I suffered like Bell palsy to the face after the accident, so it really took a toll on me. So that was my reason behind it. Like living here wasn't actually the plan. That wasn't actually the plan, but it just so happened that I'm here, so I just worked with it.
And what was that what was it like when you finally started to get your feet wet in the city? Because I would imagine like Jamaica is like so easy breezy, chill, and New York City is like so like wild and
it's
hustle.
very busy. But I would say, what was it like? I feel like it was challenging, but I feel like that was my motivation to push me to be where I'm at today. So yeah.
Wow, like when I think that means that when I first met you, you were like living in New York City for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really challenging. I was staying with family, and I'm not saying they weren't good to me, but they were, they weren't 100 the way I'm used to being treated in Jamaica. So I had to, my dad left me with a message because my dad traveled back and forth. When I ended up have to stay here, my dad told me that take care of yourself, and try to find a job, or something that, or go back to school, something that would suit you, something that would suit you, and whatever you find and it works out for you, then stick to that and make it to the best of your ability. So it was I had multiple different little streams of income. It wasn't a lot, but being dependable on people, it's like when you actually start like getting that little change around, it means a lot to you, because now you could buy a meal for yourself instead of asking this person to buy it. So so that's what it was.
So did you grow up in the hair salon too, or like what sparked that interest?
No, I did not. I feel like I really started going to the salon when I was teenager, when I was a teenager, because our cultural thing in Jamaica is like our little cousins or aunts and your mom could literally like do your hair. So my mom, when I was younger, my mom used to do my hair, and then like growing up, I kind of learned how to your little schoolgirl style. So I learned to style it a little bit. But I would say no, I did not. Like as a teenager, I had to beg my mom to like perm my hair.
Really? Yeah.
Because my hair was so natural and like healthy, and but like in high school in Jamaica, they took that permanent thing on another level. So it's like I had to beg my mom, and that's probably like almost about to leave high school, like grade 10, grade 11.
Wow.
And she finally like approved. So
so basically junior, senior year.
Yes.
Wow.
Basically junior, senior year.
I remember when my sister, because I totally can relate to that, because I remember when my sister came home with her hair relaxed.
Yeah.
And I was so upset and angry. Because like our mom was like, you can't get your hair done, because it was like this whole, it was not you can't get your hair done, but it was more or less like, we need your hair to be strong and healthy so you can have long and luscious hair, and if you get a relaxer, it ruins that. And she, there was 4 of us, so she couldn't go to the hair salon all the time. So like if she got her hair done once, it would mess up. So I can totally. So what was it like when you first got your first relaxer then? Because that sounds monumental.
It was good.
It was easy.
I felt like a doll. I felt like a doll, especially because I had good, healthy hair. So and when you have a good body of hair and you perm it, it even look beautiful. Like it would possibly look like a weave, a bundle or something. So I felt good, and it was like for me, it was easier to control, because Lord, with natural hair, honey, if you don't know how to style your natural hair, that would be a problem for you. So since then I never went back natural. I've always been a relaxer girl. Yeah, I'm always relaxed.
That's so natural. That's so interesting, because like you're like queen natural girl.
Yeah.
Like you do natural hair most of the time.
Right.
So that's like, so you're like, but no, I guess maybe because you work with it so much, you want it to be easy for you.
Yeah.
So then when moving to New York City in 2015, what, like until now, because basically next year's going to make 10 years. That's crazy. So what does your New York City look like? Because I feel like we all have like our own experiences, and like, you know, you existing as a Caribbean girl who lives in Queens, correct?
Yeah.
Like, what does that look like for you?
I feel like New York City is a very busy and very culturally intertwined. You know, like I love that it has so much different cultures that you can learn from. I love that there is doors open to make money, to provide, you know, money to provide for your family and yourself. So and there's a lot of opportunities out there. There's a lot of ways that you can learn how to make money or make, you know, stability for yourself. So yeah.
So was that the way how you got started? Like, hair became a hustle at first?
Child, I was broke.
I hear you.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Yeah, I was broke.
I hear you. So then how did it start then? Like, where was that?
So it's a funny story. It's a funny story because after being here, I was trying to figure my way out, like what to do, because, you know, as a younger female or coming out of your teenager years, is like you have to figure out that life for yourself now, because it's like your parents will always be there for you, but it's like they're not going to always be there for you. You have to learn how to be a woman, because a girl is different from a woman.
Yeah.
So when I came and I was staying with family, I worked with Jewish people, like cleaning house.
Oh, wow.
Or I tried the little babysitting thing. I don't know, the first day I got sick on the job, but I got fired.
Oh, wow.
Then I tried working at a restaurant too. And working at that restaurant, oh Lord, I wasn't used to long standing as I am today.
That's ironic.
Yeah, so it's like, whew, child, you know, the long standing in the restaurant, I feel like that was slavery. That's not for me. That's not for me.
I mean, yeah.
So after that, like, I felt like oh, I gotta elaborate on that. So I was working at the restaurant, and you know, I went on the job one day. I feel like every day I went on the job, I just always feel so lazy. And that's not me, because like I was always like an independent person, even in Jamaica, because after I left high school, I had my jobs. Yeah, I went to college, but prior to that, I was working at loan company. I worked as I work at the front desk in a casino. I work in gift shops, you know, so it's always customer service.
Right.
Like, so when I came, I was there. I always come to work. I'm like, oh Lord, this job is so tiring. And it pay like $50 or $60. So, you know, but I always go to the restroom to sleep.
Oh my God.
So I remember one day I went to the restroom and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna just take a 5, you know? I was there sleeping so long. They came and knocked like, Ayeisha, and I had to like, oh, my stomach is hurt. That's why I've been here so long. And then after that, I another day on the job, I was so tired. I was so beat. So they sent me downstairs in the basement where is a storage area, and they sent me for something. I don't remember what they sent me for. So I saw a big bag of rice. So I'm like, oh, perfect. I could take a little quick 5 before I go back upstairs. So I laid on the bag for me. I slept like for half an hour. And then when I woke up and I looked straight ahead of me, guess what was there?
The manager?
The camera.
What?
The camera was...
Oh, like the surveillance?
Yeah.
Pointing at you. Oh my God.
Like, oh shit, I just lost my job.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So, you know, so after that, you know, I came back for my check, and the boss said he no longer needs my service, and that was that. So, you know, with all in all, how this hair thing came about for me, I was just sitting at home one day and a friend called me up and she's like, have you found anything at a job? And I'm like, no. And she was like, would you be interested in working at a salon as a assistant, like washing hair and braid it up for the wigs to go on? And I'm like, you know what? No. I didn't have a problem because by any means I'm gonna go out there and get what I need to get. So um I said, sure, no problem. She's like, okay, can you go to that salon today? She's really looking for help, and I'm like, oh my God, I am broke. I'm so broke. I can't even get there. And she was like, really? I'm like, yeah. So the opportunity passed me before. So then it presented itself, like I said, like a month later or so, and she called me up again and she asked me, and I'm like, oh Lord, girl, I still don't have no money. And I asked the persons that I was staying with for a little change to go there, and she was like, oh, you know, with bills and whatever. I was literally asking for $5 just to take the dollar van and, you know, try to head to the destination. Because then in my head, at least if I start like in gaining, I can offer, you know, I could help you. You know, I could offer you a little 1-2 on the bills. You see where I'm coming from, right? Right. So, she was like, "Oh man, all right, hold on, I'm gonna call you back." And she hung up, and then she called me back. When she called me back, she was like, "Oh girl, you're in luck." And I'm like, "What? What you mean I'm in luck?" She said that the boss lady that's looking for somebody decided she'll pick me up in the morning, so I should text the address. And I text the address, and she picked me up the morning. She got me breakfast, she got me lunch, and she ensured that I was home safe, which she'd take me back home. And she repeated that for like 3 days. Until, you know, I gained enough income to do it myself. So I want to say shout out to Tammy Hair Studio. You know, that's where my hair journey began.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where my, you know, just being an assistant and working my way up. I worked my way up from there. So that's where it really started. I did not know your girl was so talented. I did not know that I was gonna be a hairstylist. I used to do like, you know, my little cousins here in Jamaica, like I said, or they used to do my hair, but never did I thought in a million years. I used to think that I wanted to be like an office clerk and stuff like that because I did like business in school. And yeah, so
Tammy Girl Studio.
Tammy Hair Studio.
That's crazy. My mom name is Tammy. So, and I love, so Tammy's always win for me. Wow. Yeah. So what part of that was in your journey when you arrived? Was that that was a month you said into living here, or how long?
I think that happened in the end of 2016 to 2017. I think I worked there like either, I think it's between that 2016, 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you landed at Magic Finger Studios.
After that, like, it was, you know, in life, like, you know, you have to move on. So I felt like that was my cue. Like, you know, I wanted more. So, and I wanted like some rest after that. So like after I stopped working there, I relaxed for a month or so because I'm like, you know, I have enough money now. To me, I said I have enough money saved up to can relax for a month. And then after relaxing for a month, then my friend Karen, she hit me up and like, hey, I know you've been out of a job for a little minute, you know, but I decided to send you this. So Magic Finger is hiring, and you know, I slid in their DM, and then they told me what should I do to, you know, to apply for them with them. And then yeah, it was moving forward from there. Like, it was Magic Finger. Like, I got the job, I started training, and yeah, I started working there.
Wow. And so that makes me just, that's so beautiful to me because it just sounds like you have like a good community of people around you who are always looking out for you.
Yeah.
Were these other Jamaican women, or were these like other like black women?
Mixed. Okay. I feel like, yeah, but for the most part, I have a lot of Jamaican friends. I got rid of a lot of them. I got rid of a lot of them because one thing my mom taught me growing up was that to let God be your friend, because friends change. You know what I mean? And whatever you need, whatever you have to tell somebody, tell it to God, because God won't tell you a secret, but friends would. So I had like a very challenging life with friends growing up. Like they used to hate me so much, chastise me, shit, they nailed me on the cross.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, and like now to see where I'm at, oh child, they in my DM congratulating me. So it's just crazy how life take a turn, you know. So, you know, for the friends that I have now, I'm thankful for them, because I feel like they're supportive towards whatever I, you know, move towards now. So
I mean, it got you here thus far, which is amazing.
Yeah, so it was really her that had me going to Magic Finger. Really. So
and so then that makes me wonder, like, because you've like next year, like, do you remember the month that you came in?
Came into where?
Like to New York, like that month.
Oh yeah, July 1st, 2015.
Oh wow, it was the first day.
Yeah, first day.
So then, what would you say to like other Jamaican women who are making their change and coming to New York? Like, what would your advice be for when they first come here?
My advice would be to trust God. To trust God and just know that I don't want to get emotional.
Yeah.
I would say trust God. It's not going to be an easy journey. You're going to get a lot of fight. A lot of people are going to turn their backs on you. But with God, you could move mountain. You can move any mountain, you know, any stumbling block in the way. And you're gonna struggle with your faith. You're gonna struggle a lot. You might lose hope, but that's where God come back in and help you to build that back up. You just have to trust Him. You just have to trust Him, because I've been through so much. I've so much trials and tribulations, and I never gave up. My personality wouldn't allow me to be sad, to be depressed, and even on days when I felt like I'm gonna be depressed, there's my mom speaking life into me. She speaks so much life into me. She's just always there for me, always definitely a praying woman. Every turn I turn, she's prayed. And oh God, I don't know what I would do without my mother. So she's my rock, she's my strength. She's one of the ones that why I didn't give up on this journey. In America, she told me to keep my head high and just trust God. So you know, you basically you could do anything. You could, and if you feel like where you are right now and it's not working out for you, it's okay to relocate, though it's going to be challenging. You know, you just have to keep pushing and just work your way up. You will eventually get there. You know, and I'm not where I want to be, but Lord, broke days are over. I don't have to ask nobody for nothing. Thank you, Jesus. So yeah.
Before we continue with our conversation, here's a clip from the film Peace.
You are.
Always, into the day I die. I love hearing that. That resonates with me.
Yeah.
Just because it's important to have faith, you know, and not let anything. And just like you, like my mom means so much to me. I feel like I talk about my mom endlessly. Like, and I love all mothers. Like your mom is here today, so I'm glad to meet your mom. Like I feel I have such a deep respect for mothers, just because they bring life and they protect it.
Right.
So that's amazing. And so from there, you started working at Magic Finger Studios. And what was that experience like?
I felt like Magic Finger Studio was where I improved on my skills today. It taught me a lot. Working at Magic Finger taught me a lot, and I feel like that was the icing on the cake that led me to where I am today. You know, of being a professional businesswoman. Because when I worked at Magic Finger, Stasha wasn't somebody that like would just put you on board to work. You would have to go through training process. You know, so it's like elementary, it's like elementary, junior, high school, what, you know, it's like leveling up. So she would most likely start you out with doing like men's hair, little kids hair, just to see how well you braid, how firm you braid, and you know, and it was history. You know what I mean? So that's literally where I felt like I improved and became touched by Ishie. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember seeing you, and I was like, "Who is this girl?" And like you touched my hair, literally touched by Ishie, like so good. That was probably one of the first times my hair was like laid to that degree. Like and then when I did that, I went there with the intention of getting my hair done for like a music video project that I was shooting, and everybody just kept telling me about how amazing my hair was because I was touched by you.
And everybody wants to be touched by Ishie, like who don't?
And so then, like, how long was it after until you started your own business, and what was that process like?
Oh Lord, funny thing, the quarantine happened.
Oh yeah,
the salons was shut down. The salons were shut down, and I had to figure out a way. So my clients, it happened that my clients kept calling me like, "Oh, you're not working, do house calls." And I thought about it for a minute, but my mom keep telling me like, "Listen, is your immune system good? Like, no, I don't feel like you should be doing it." But I like to, I have that fire in me. I like to go. You know what I mean? I don't like nothing stop me. But at that point, I didn't start. And then going in the midst of it, I'm like, ooh, child, I'm running out of savings. Oh, I need to get on something for something get on me. So I just started doing house calls. I had a little page outside of Magic Finger where I used to I used to have, but I wasn't like pushing it. I posted one of a few things on it, but it wasn't like, until I figure out a name. I was just home one day and I remember I think I said it to my friend, or my friend ran a joke with me and said, "Oh, I was touched by Ishie." I think it's some one of that sort where I got that name. But it was really the quarantine that made me start touched by Ishie. Yeah, I started out doing house calls, and the rest was history.
It sounds to me once again, it like you have a really strong community. Like the fact that like you had a friend who inspired you with the name, and then you have people who are constantly interested in like having your service is just, and once again, that's God working. Because was it even intentional for you to be like, let me start my own like studio now, or it was just like it happened organically?
It just happened.
Wow.
It just happened. Like I wasn't thinking that. Like where I was prior though, doing the little, 1 and 2 here, it was in my bedroom because I didn't really have the space outside of that. So, and then I started facing a little challenges over the line down because my landlord was uncomfortable with me, taking clients there because of the quarantine and because of the white neighborhood that I lived in.
Oh.
Yeah. The white neighborhood that I lived in. So it's like, yeah. So it just, after a while, it just became challenging. I had no motivation. I was really just trying because I like to stay on top of my bills. I didn't care if the government said, "Oh, rent was free for 10 months." I like to stay on top of everything. I don't like to owe. I don't like to borrow loans. I don't like to do none of that. I want to make sure everything is a clean slate. That's me personally. So I prayed, and I said, "God, oh Lord, it's been an up and down journey, but I'm just asking you to bless me with just bless me with an apartment. It may not be exactly what I want, but I just needed to have enough space where I could set up to do my own thing." And Lord, I got exactly that. And I'm telling you, that little apartment right there, oh child, it brought in so many opportunities. It really made Touched by Ishie, because I moved in there and I just spent everything buying and setting up, because I'm like, you know what, I'm just spend everything, because I like over time getting little 1 and 2 things, but I'm just somebody that like to feel comfortable. So I just spent my money, and then after that I'm like, I'm gonna just trust God. And then when it just starts blooming, truly here. I'm making crazy money. So yeah.
Wow. And then from there, like, you started getting like all these like inquiries from like recognized people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did Alton Mason happen?
Oh, child. That's my brother. All right, so Alton Mason happened in May of 2021.
Okay.
I felt like I was home, or maybe I felt like I finished up working, and I was just, it was either. And I just opened my DM. Just to scroll through to see like if clients message me, because I'm one person. I don't have an assistant, so sometimes I got to stay on top of that. I don't really like stop in between like the process of working, because I like to just go on, because time is efficient to me. So Alton, I slid in the DM and I look and I'm like, oh, I didn't knew Alton Mason for Alton Mason, but when I clicked this page, I was like, ooh, like, once I see blue tick, I'm like, oh, I gotta say forever, you feel me? So I looked on his page, I was like, oh, so he sent me a message, and an image asking me if I can do a particular style, and I think I responded saying, hey, thanks for Shoes in Touch by Ishie. Yes I can, yes I can. When would you like this done? And oh Lord, the rest was history. Alton opened the door for me for a lot of opportunities. Like he's always like referenced someone to me, and he's been such a blessing. He's such a loving person. Like in person, he's so lovable. He's always cheering me on, like, ooh, nobody touching you, girl. Like, you touch my Ishie, and we play around, we joke around. Whenever we're around, it's like a vibe, you know what I mean? God bless his heart, and I really do hope he continues to flourish. It's been nothing but good since I met him.
Wow.
So,
and you even got to work with like another like Caribbean queen, Shensia.
Yeah.
What did that feel like? Like I'm working with another Caribbean woman.
All right, Shensia. How Shensia happened? I was home one night, and my friend hit me up. She goes by the name of Tika. Tika is the spouse of Shensia, makeup artist.
Oh.
Yeah. So she hit me up, basically telling me that basically Shensia reached out to them, asking them like who they know could do this specific style, which is like, I think it was a boho knotless style. And there's like only one person I know could deliver this service the way you want it to, and it's Ishie, my friend Ishie, Touched by Ishie, but she lives in New York. And she said, okay, we'll get her here. And they flew me into Miami.
Oh wow.
They flew me into Miami. I went there and I did Shensia here. It was a vibe. She's such a down-to-earth person. It was just like, she just felt like family, you feel me? Like the conversations we have, and everybody was just there vibing. She loved the outcome of her hair, because even at one point she told me that this is the first time she ever got her hair done where she didn't have to tell this person how she wanted it, but she got it exactly how she wanted it, and she loved it. So I want to say big up to Makeup Shanna and Tika. I
love that.
So that's how I got hooked to Shensia. So yeah,
I love hearing the magic in your life. I don't know if you recognize that, because it sounds like a lot of magic because of the strong community you have.
Yeah. Now that you're saying it, I'm just like thinking like, wow, I do.
Yeah, I do. And it's because of your faith in God. It's because of your faith in like good things to come.
Oh, I have a purpose, because after my accident, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I was in bed for a little minute because I couldn't barely even walk. I had to like try to relearn how to do all of that stuff. So it's like, my faith is definitely strong because of the things that I endured, off here, the things that I endure in especially here in America. I wouldn't say it was too crazy, but I'm not used to that, because like I said, my parents created that foundation for me to live a good life. So and my dad spoiled me. I used to get everything I want.
Oh, wow.
If I call my mom, and my mom like, no, you're too spoiled. I call my dad like, and my dad would call her like, Janet, give her exactly what you want. Yeah, so yeah.
Oh,
so
sorry for your foot, by the way.
No, it's fine.
Oh wow, that's so good. And I mean, you know, hair and like being literally like Touched by Ishie has brought you so many different places to like even like having inquiries from like Meek Mills to like Rowdy Rebel and like Michael Kors.
Rowdy Rebel is my brother.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's my brother. He get on my nerves sometimes, but he was like actually my first set I've ever done, like big music set. When he just came out, he dropped his single Rowdy vs Rebel. Yeah, and I was the stylist for that for both scenes.
Oh wow.
Well, not both scenes, I think all scenes in that music video. Is just I gave him 2 styles, one for the first scene I think, and one for the other scene, which was a big mansion in New Jersey. You know, he also slid in the DM. It's like it was actually one of like a style that I felt like went like a little viralish, wherein if you go on the top of my page, it's pinned with some like 2 strong twists, and it looked like symmetrical, like yeah. So that's how he recognized me. But the thing with Rowdy though, how I did his hair, when he DM'd me, he asked me to do his friend hair.
Here, let me see if she could do her hair first.
Yeah, so me and him too, that guy, his name is Jose. We'll call him Day Day, or you know, Jose, whatever his name. And yeah, I did his hair. And then after, you know, they linked up, and he was like, the next day he called me to do his hair. He called me to do his hair, him and his girl here at the moment, like in this hotel in Manhattan. And yeah, after that it was just, yeah, like I said, it's always like history after that. Like,
oh wow,
I just been locked in with him. I wasn't even feeling well a couple of days ago. It was you know, and he texted me, he was like, yo, I hope you feel better, sis, yada 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 yada. So it's like
wow, just full of blessings.
And yeah, with Michael Kors, I feel like that was the biggest break of my career, because I did not expect Michael Kors. I did not.
I mean, I would beg to differ, because you have a talent. And, you know, like I said, when you did my hair, it's been some time since I've seen you last. But when you did my hair, I was like...
oh, God. So Michael Kors, the producer of Michael Kors, reached out to Alton Mason team, agent, and asked them specifically for me, because they always see Alton with his braids, and they needed that image for their 2024 holiday campaign shoot. If you know of Michael Kors don't usually do braids on their set. It's like straight.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen braids?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's so funny. That's how you and I connect. I used to work for Michael Kors.
Yeah.
Like, I was in their PR department. Not the best experience. That was not because of him. But yeah, so I'm very familiar with how they run things.
Yeah, so I feel like I think I've not just feel, but I've heard like this is like their first time, you know, using braids for that rodeo. So yeah, and after I was finished and they saw that, you know, they was like, very good, I approve, it's really good. So it was really like, and I got like so much feedback, like people on Instagram, they was going crazy. They was like, oh, Ishie, that's big for you, whatever. My DM was crazy. My messages, the calls was crazy, because it was like, yo, what, Michael Kors, that's a big thing. But I didn't even know it was like that much of a big thing.
Really?
I didn't know. I know Michael Kors is like a big thing, like a big brand from back in the days, like, you know. Yeah, and still is, because, you know, I feel like more like on the wider side, like white people would wear Michael Kors over black,
or like
people.
a Kerry Washington.
Right. Yeah. So I was just like, oh shit. You know, because that's low-key my dream. That's low-key my dream, to work sets. I want to work sets like behind the scenes. No, well, I want to work for sets like with models and artists, whatever it is. You know, work less, make more.
Yeah. So. I mean, you know, and the type of style that you focus on is particularly like natural hair. Why was that like your interest? Is it because of where you first started at?
Yeah.
Okay.
because of Magic Finger. I feel like either or, whether it was Tammy Hair Studio or whether it was, but I do every type, every texture. I could do Chinese, white people. I could do I could do any type of hair. It doesn't matter, perm, relax, whatever it is, it don't matter to me. Natural hair is just what I get more. I get more of that because I feel like a lot of people are going back natural these days. So, yeah.
So no like color, no relaxer. You do like a cornrow. You do like extensions. Is that like what would you?
All right. So yeah. I specialize in creative design, stitch braids, knotless. I do a little bit of weave on the side, I would say. Like you see I have a weave in right now, and this is called traditional weave, where you sew the weave, and at the top you have a little leave out just to hide the the tracks. Thank you. Yeah. So I would do, like, you have the style these days where they do the half and half, so it's like half weave and half braid. So apart from braiding, I would say, yeah, for now I don't wash hair and stuff because I'm home based. But as time goes by and things get bigger and better, that will fall in place because I actually love washing hair. So yeah.
Why do you love it?
I feel like that's like a low-key therapy for people. Like when they go into the salon, it's like, oh gosh, oh, shampoo.
I love that.
Yeah, shampoo the hair, and especially male, they're so lazy. They don't want to wash their hair. They want to come in, get their hair washed, and braid it. So but over time it will come to play.
What would you say? I asked this because I didn't realize, and this is going to sound however it's going to sound, I didn't realize the like what it meant in terms of having like when you're a Black woman and the experience of being a Black woman with hair and that journey. I remember one time me and my sister were talking, and she said that I can't go into an interview with an afro. Like I'm working to getting a job, and like some people are racist or they will judge you for like having an afro, and that made me realize that there's like a journey that certain Black women have to take with their hair. And I wanted to know what are your thoughts about that? Is that true, or?
I don't think it has anything to do with color, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't. You know what I mean? Once you're talented, and you promote yourself, and then you'll get where you need to be. However, you can't stop judgments. You can't stop judgments. Everywhere you go, you're gonna be judged. Shoot, you might be judged. I think in the Bible it says something about you be judged by God, like on your own accord. Like you have to answer for yourself, right? In the end of time. So I don't feel like everywhere you go you're gonna get judged. You just have to keep your head up and keep pushing. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna happen overnight. Little by little, and being consistent, you're gonna progress. And most importantly, you got to put God first. So I really don't feel like it has anything to do with, like, regardless of what are the backlash or the challenges you face, you're gonna be you. You can't change you. So
you can't start judgment. That's something I never thought about. Not that I never think about what people think truly, and I'm not saying that as a trend. I do a lot of perception. So like, for example, I'll be like, oh, like Ishie probably might think I'm like so unprofessional, and you're probably like, oh, I'm just arriving. I'm glad, So I don't. So when it comes to people's thoughts,
we're different, like individuals,
right?
We're made differently.
Yeah.
God is like. In the Bible, it said God knows every one of us, each individual, right? And you would say, how the hell God know all of us? Like there's billions of people on the earth, but He knows us individually because He created each individual different. So there's no space for that. There's no space for that, and and like we were born in sin. We were born in sin, so it's like I'm in no space to judge. That's I'm in no space to judge. I don't care what people has to say. I feel like coming up when I was young coming up, I didn't care. I had that thing where I don't care. I don't care, but if I do care, I'm gonna show you that I care.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't care what you have to say. If I feel like I don't need to do this, I'm not somebody you could influence. I am a leader. I was never a follower.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you running your own business, girl. So
and in school too, like my dad was a little hard on me. He spoiled me, but I used to hit. He used to beat me. You know, Caribbean parents.
Yeah.
You know, very strict.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to always wonder if my dad know me, like, you know, Daddy, I'm a leader. I was never a follower. Not because my friends go and get piercings or tattoos, meaning I'm gonna go get piercings and tattoos. Like, no. I'm my own person. I've always been my own person. So despite of what you walk in, whether with afro hair, with a straight hair, you have to just be upright, confident, and bold enough to know that you're beautiful within yourself. Within yourself, and that no matter where you go, you are the light at the end of that tunnel. You get what I'm saying? So yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, because that just instills in me just like yeah, that I'm taking. I mean, these, like, you know, that's why I'm excited to always have these conversations, because they're learning lessons for me and for other people, for example, too. I am curious, because of your experience in hair, what makes a good hairstylist? Because I'm sitting with, you know, one of the best right now, so so you gotta know.
I would say what makes a good hairstylist, a creative one. One that is hardworking, consistent, patient is key. Because Lord know, you know, you're gonna have them little angry birds. I'm sorry, you know. But you have to be patient, you know, in all that you do. You have to know how to multitask. Whatever you hire somebody to do, you got to make sure that you can do it yourself. You have to learn. You got to invest. You definitely got to invest in your business and invest in trends and stuff like that. You got to maximize profit. Yeah, and it's you got to be reliable. Communication is key. Dependent, you know, all of that fall in place. That's what makes a good hairstylist. And a consistent one is definitely the top one. Like, you have to be consistent in whatever you do, and you have to, like, I would say, when I say consistency, right, you have a lot of people that they just do it because they just do it for the money. You know, you literally have to be passionate about what you do too, because if you're not passionate, you don't put that love in the hair. You get what I'm saying? So, like, you want to put that love in the hair to deliver the service that the client want, and you have to communicate with your client. You have to be reliable too, and sometimes you're a therapist.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. Like, so is that like something you identify too, is like working as like a sideway therapist when you do hair?
Yeah, I feel like all my clients trust me enough to come and tell me all their business. And you know, confidentiality is like one of my top. I don't play with that, because whatever you tell me stays right there. So if you play with that, I feel like I'm the type to tell you, don't come back. You have to find a new stylist. You know, also what makes a good hairstylist is that it's good to know your business from front to back. You know, all around. So yeah, confidentiality is like top priority for me. Like, you know, you could always speak to me as I can speak to you, if I, you know, and also it reflects on the energy, because if the energy ain't right, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm gonna just keep it professional, but I don't feel like I'm a vibe with you. Like, when I vibe with you, I'm feeling that energy, like, oh yeah, I gotta, you know. But
because it's an intimate experience, and you know, it's so funny. I sometimes one of my close friends, I call her like the Black Regina George. And I say that I'm Gretchen because like I have big hair with all these secrets. I feel like that's kind of like you to a degree because like I feel like I'm always getting information about people and I'm just keeping it like top secret. That's just a little piece about me, but I'm just curious more about you. One thing that like I've learned is that you have also been teaching other people how to be hairstylists, and I think I might have saw something about one of your students getting a certificate in hair.
Okay, so
And are you teaching people how to do hair?
I used to do one-on-one. That's something I started, but it's like, I feel like how should I put this? I feel like it's a lot being a damn hairstylist.
Yeah.
So it's like to balance everything is like it's it's a burden on you sometimes. So I feel like you have to attack one thing at a time. But with that, it was a good experience because definitely that's something I want to do in the future because a lot of people definitely reach out to me in the DM where they ask me like for like what would how would I no let me reword that. A lot of people reach out to me in the DM and just ask me about like product usage or even just a friend like parting and stuff like that. So I feel like that's like one of the top things now in this gender when it comes on to hair, especially braids and stuff, like a clean part. Back then it never really mattered, but these days like people looking for that. But then at the same time too, low-key giving somebody some education right now. A good lighten can confuse you from what's really there. You could do horrible work, but once you have that light hitting, it's like,
listen,
you feel like that person do go until you actually find them out. And then a lot of people use filter these days too on their work. I really just use filter on the face. It's just like, like I'm asking for a video because the style looks so good, especially on the person. And I'm like, let me get a video. And they'll be like, my face. And I'm like, okay, I'll just use a filter, but I don't have to use filter, honey. My work hit the same with or without filter, in or out of person. You feel me? So yeah.
So what would you say then is like a good, because I know you can't give all your secrets, but what would you say is a good hair practice to have?
So a good hair practice to have is consistently maintaining your hair, meaning like wash, treat it every chance you get, and definitely give your hair breaks because protective hairstyles can make your hair brittle, so it can lead to your hair being brittle. So you would definitely have to give your hair breaks. You have to do trims, and allow your hair to grow, allow your hair to breathe, and just
So do you? I mean, when we briefly spoke about this when you first came in here, because your hair looks slayed and amazing. Do you often do your own hair?
Oh hell no!
Because I mean, like seeing you over the years on social media too, I'm like, damn, like she doesn't miss. You don't miss like everything with your hair to your style. I'm like, literally, you look so good all the time.
Okay, so I have different styles for different styles. So I can do my own hair, but it's time consuming. I ain't got no damn time for that. You know what I mean? And I am precise in what I want. And I don't feel like I can all the way deliver that service how I want it to be delivered. You understand me? So I would rather I'll pay any amount of money just to not. I tried braiding my hair once or twice. I think 2 times. And Lord God, it took me like 8 hours to do like 10 big braids. So no,
wow.
So child, I'm gonna pay for it.
So I guess, I mean, once again, that's you relying on community. It's like now that you have been poured into, now you pour into other people, because other people could just be like, I'm doing my own hair. Like, I remember this one hairstylist, good friend of mine. She had this rule. She said that she specifically like only going to gay men to get her hair done because she feels that like women would not do her hair right because there's like a competition thing. But everyone's different. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
I would say out there, a lot of people think it's a competition.
Uh-huh.
You know, but there's so many hairstylists now, and each individual deserve to win in their own little way.
Mm-hmm.
It's never too much money. There's money for everybody to make.
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to focus on you, focus on your brand, and focus on where you're going, and don't worry about the outside noise.
Mm-hmm.
That don't have nothing to do with you. What you do, I'm different.
Mm-hmm.
What the service that I provide, the way I braid, you don't have to braid that hair because I can braid tight, neat, and you braid loose.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't watch that. And but I could definitely say there is a lot of competition outside. I don't even know if the word that I'm looking for is competition, but there's a lot of good hairstylists out there. But you are you, and I am different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm different in my own way. I'm unique. I'm special, so I'm not worried about nobody. I'm touched by Ishie.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is real.
Continue being up to date with all things peace by following the links attached to this episode. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's wrap up the show.
Yeah, I'm just so glad to be talking to you and getting your insight on a lot of things about life. I feel like they're so really insightful that I'm going to take with me forever. I am curious. Yeah, I mean, you're a light. You're a light.
A fresher bred hair.
Mm-hmm. I love how you put that. Yes, indeed. Speaking of hair, would you say there's a strong hair community in New York City? Because before you answer, when I think about hair, like the hair community, I think about have you ever seen Good Hair by Chris Tucker? No, Chris Rock. He did a whole documentary about the journey of a black woman's hair, journey of a black woman's hair, and there's these whole hair competitions and stuff like that. So I'm curious if you have any community.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of, especially in New York, but it would definitely be good for the culture, especially with hip hop being such a good thing, on a bigger thing now on hair. So yeah.
So most of the time, the hair community is more stronger in Atlanta than it would be.
I'm not saying there probably is, but I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware of it because I'm just
doing your own business.
My thing, focus on my thing. But it would be good, to have that if there is, or to be involved, or we could connect and do something big for the community. Because another thing I was supposed to say earlier when you asked what makes a good hairstylist is one that gives back to the community also. Because give back is a part of what God would want you to do. He blesses you so much. It's good to give back. You're not losing, you're more than likely gaining. So yeah, it would be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to give back when you are receiving. And we discussed before, a lot of in your realm of things have been about giving and receiving. Would you say there are any people that you admire in their work, or you admire their business model?
I would say Natalie Styles on Instagram. Her name is Natalie Styles. She's actually a stylist in Miami. I love her creativity or creative thinking. I have creative thinking, but Lord, she be coming up with some shit. I know I can, but it's damn, her work is just tremendous work. So she's always been my inspiration, especially for designs. So, and I remember a while back, when I was working at Magic Finger, I had they had a braid battle, and I went to the braid battle. They wanted me to enter, but then I was I don't know. I could have, because after the fact, I'm damn, I could have did that. But I met her there, and it was we had a good conversation. And one thing she left me with, because I think I asked her a question. I said, how would you start out a freestyle, doing designs in the head? And she told me that when you're doing a freestyle, you have to start with a part in the middle. It can be a straight part, it could be a swirly part, it could be a zigzag part. But then after you put that part, then you know what to do, where to go. So like starting down the middle is very important. So she left me with that. So with that, I've seen other braiders. We don't specifically like follow each other, but I've seen other braiders like braided. Braided is like top one on Instagram. Like her work is, oh Lord, I even have the word for her work. Her work is bomb. It's really good. Her work is getting expensive. Like, yeah, you gotta spend that money on the hair with that, you know. You know, Stasha was always a good one too. Stasha, you know, she literally was the one that really goaded this hair game shit. Magic Finger Studio. Yeah, and there's just like a lot of different natural hairstylists. You have hair lock. Hair lock is more on the natural hair side because hair lock is more on the natural hair side, like dreads and stuff. Like she's not more too into using too many products, you know, like more like older days, like, you know, when you're not putting all these products in your hair and stuff. And she could better like educate you on like natural hair maintenance, how to care your hair, stuff like that. She has her product line. I've been using her product line also too for my hair, and it's really good. So yeah, there's like a couple of them that I've seen. I've admired. They're all over. You know, that's why I like I said before, like I don't think it's like a competition thing. I think everybody just in their lane winning individually. Yeah,
I love that. I mean, you know, one thing that my sister always says, I'm making a lot of references to my family because family is important to me as I see it is to you. That, which, you know, it says in the Bible that God doesn't instill fear. And I feel like when people are, you know, competitive in the way where they want to knock another business down or whatever, that's out of fear. That is out of the work of the devil. And so
I'm not like somebody that procrastinates. And if I procrastinate, it's for a good reason. It's because God didn't ordain me to make that move yet. Yeah. So that's something I had to learn. Like, if that's not a move I'm not supposed to make, you can't tell me like, oh, it's like you're making this much amount of money now, but you don't know that I'm making that money. You just see that, okay, I'm doing bigger and better things, but you're telling me like, because I have people in my ears like, oh, you know, you can open your shop now, whatever, and I'm like, yeah, it ain't my time yet. God didn't tell me to go ahead and do that yet. So I mean, like I said, I'm never a follower. So when I feel like God put me in the position, God already put me in that position to do better, but when I feel like it's my time to open my shop and just do whatever I need to do, then that's my time. But I'm not gonna follow or listen to noise. Noise is just noise. Noise is just noise. Yeah.
So what would you say is like, you know, something that people should be wary of when they're like going to hairstylists? Like, I should not be going to this hairstylist if they do this.
I feel like what people should worry about is a hairstylist that doesn't care, especially about your time. Shit.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
Like time is something that I'm big on. Shit, if I'm late for somebody, where I'm panicking.
Oh yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm panicking. I'm like, Lord, and I get miserable. My mom like, oh, you so miserable. Timing is something I'm big on, because what if you had a planned schedule? Hair this time, nails this time, and you have to be out of town. You have so much things. You have kids. You have, you know. So timing is something that you need your stylist to care about. A stylist that you could depend on too. Like, what if it's 3:00 in the morning and you could be like, oh, you know, like, hey, can I pay you $1,000? I know it's last minute. I'll pay you $1,000 or whatever, and you know, and they got you. Definitely have to care about your hair. They have to let you know, like, listen, your edges are too thin. Your hair is falling out. Give it some breather. Do treatments, long-term treatment, short-term, cut it off, regrow it. Whatever it is for you to get like a healthy body of hair, they have to inform you. They have to be informative about like the texture of your hair, and what it can manage. How can what style would be better for hair? You know, like a thin hair, like, you know, a lot of people suffer from alopecia and stuff these days too. So, you know, you need a stylist that cares. Yeah.
Well, that leads me to my final two questions. Just because, like, you know, your knowledge, your execution, your talent, you know, is very remarkable and honorable. And you've mentioned, yeah, of course. I mean, like, I've been seeing you for years, and I'm just like, I love seeing you live your best life on these vacations you take.
And Zoom.
Like, you be in these cute ass outfits, these nice ass hairstyles.
I'm so happy that God put me in that position too, and my mom too. I just brought her on her first trip. Oh my God, I've been waiting so long. I used to pray and say, oh God, I can't wait to just bring my mom on a vacation with me. And that's just the first of the many to come, because Lord knows I'm going to be rich. And I feel like I am already rich. I'm rich in Christ, you know, because God got me. But I want to be like financially stable to the point where I can really give back my parents you know, what they gave to me. I want to give back to the community. I want to genuinely be there for friends that was genuinely there for me and helped me and molds me into and shaped me into the person that I am today. So yeah, that's what it is.
I mean, and so one of my questions then to you is, what does expansion look like for you?
Expansion look like a braided wig line. I've been wanting to come out with my braided wig line. I feel like I've just been lazy, just doing people hair, because I feel like if I started the braided wig line, it's time consuming. You have to have time to, you know, because you don't just purchase the wig and braid it, you gotta customize the wig and stuff like that. You know, so braided wig line looks like expansion to me, because there's a lot of people with thin hair, a lot of people that's suffering cancer. Became it's such a high thing now. So, you know, and they would want to wear braids again. So, you know, with cancer, alopecia and stuff, that always motivated me to want my braided wig line expansion look like me opening my salons. And when I say opening salons, when I want to start out in New York, because, you know, I'm in New York, but I see myself having a salon in every top state: Miami, Vegas, ATL, California, Texas, you know, all of those top states. I want to be on billboards. I want to just have multiple streams of income coming in, all while doing what I want to do, which is less and, you know, still getting more, which is working behind, you know, on sets and stuff like that, styling models and, you know, building my portfolio. Expansion look like branded products, you know, getting my own product line and shit too. So yeah, like, that's what that looked like for me.
Oh my God, that's like, I'm excited to see your journey in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With God, all things are possible. So I know. I know. I have a purpose. I'm purposeful. I'm survived my accident, and I survived so many other things. So expansion, I'm gonna receive that blessing in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Oh Lord.
So I'm curious to know, what does peace look like for you? How do you produce peace?
So how do I produce peace is by blocking out negativity, and making sure my environment at all time is positive, by communicating with God, my parents, my mom especially, my best friend, my friend Teresa in ATL. She's doing her own bidding. She's an RN. And just like trusting God that everything is gonna go good. Everything is gonna go good. Even when, you know, sometimes you hear voices in your head telling you ain't shit. I know I'm not the only one, you know. But I rebuke depression.
I hear you.
I rebuke depression. I rebuke procrastination, because we're not procrastinating in this season. We're all winners. Whatever you need to achieve, if the devil telling you that you can't, you can. Just make sure at all times that everything around you is positive. The thinking, the talk, because whatever comes out of your mouth is what you're manifesting for your life. You know, I manifest peace. I try to. I used to have 1 and 2 times where my thinking, my thought, you know, my thoughts, my speech, and you know, the things that come out of my mouth. Like I used to say, like, even if I'm not broke, but somebody will ask you for $1, I'll be like, oh, I'm broke. I stopped doing that. I start manifesting rich. I'm rich. Or I have it, but I don't want to give you. I'm gonna just tell you the truth. I have it, but I just yeah, I don't want to give you. You know, so I try to speak positive these days. Everything positive. I try to block out negative, and I feel like if anybody come around me with positive energy, cut and clear. I don't want nothing negative around me. Whether it's relationship, friendship, business partner, whatever it is, I need it to move, make way, make a way. You know, so, you know, definitely has to do, especially with with relationships. I recently met somebody.
Oh my god!
I recently met somebody, so, and I'm telling you, it's such a breath of fresh air because he's just so positive. It's just somebody easy to communicate with. It's just somebody that I can just totally be myself, and I feel like I needed that. So I just want to see where God is going to lead whatever it is that he's leading me into, and I just hope for the best. And I just want everybody to know that put God first, and everything else will come after. Just trust God. Do not give up, and just be happy. Live life, live life. Live life in an honest way. You know, have integrity. Like, integrity is just so important, and have respect. Respect, growing up, my mom always tell me respect brings you a far way in life. So have respect, think and talk positive, and your life will be a reflection of you. So, yeah.
I love that, Ayeisha.
I love it so.
It was such a amazing opportunity for me to sit down with you today.
Oh God. And actually it broke me out of my shell because child, I communicate with my friends, and I'm just such me, I'm always like a goofy, jovial person, so I never like somebody to come and sit down and but you made it so comfortable. Like, you see what I mean? The environment felt so peaceful. I was able to even express and elaborate it so much on even the topics I thought that I was going to stumble on. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just happy.
I want you to just, I am excited to sit with you. And so it's just important for you to be able to feel comfortable so we can have that conversation. Because a lot of the stuff that you shared, I'm learning from, and I feel like a lot of other people will learn from too. But I want the people to know where they can find you, where they can keep up with you. Maybe they can even reach out to you with future hair inquiries. Where can they go?
Okay, so as you all know, I'm touched by Ishie, the professional braider, because of course your girl is professional. You guys could find me in Queens Village, New York. I'm home based. I specialize in natural hair, but if your hair is not natural, I'm still gonna slay you. Yeah, and y'all need to book your appointments. I stay busy, so you gotta get, but I make time, and I don't cancel on people now. I really do. I never cancel on anybody. Say a celebrity reach out to me, because becoming a celebrity stylist and working with these companies, sometimes it could get hectic because your timing don't rely with their timing and stuff. So what I would do, like say Louis Vuitton, and reach out to me, which that's crazy. I forgot to say, like, I did like a cover photo for Louis Vuitton.
Girl.
A while back, yeah, to in honor of Virgil.
Oh wow, you're busy.
Yeah, so say Louis Vuitton reached out to me and say, we need you for tomorrow, and I have an appointment for tomorrow. I will call this. I'm saying, like, you have to learn how to compromise with timing. You have to learn how to negotiate, and all of that in your business. So I will reach out to my clients and say, hey, you know, something just came up. Would you be able to come in today, or would you be able to come in tomorrow? Tomorrow at a later date. I just don't cancel. I always work around. Shoot, and my hands could be bruised up. I'm not canceling.
Mm-hmm.
I fell down the step already. While rushing to go make sure everything right to for my client coming in, and I sprained my legs and I sat on top of my traveling trunk and braided. She was like, that's something I'll never forget. She was like, girl, you was in so much pain. And I'm like, you know what? I love what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I really love what I do. You have to love what you do. That's how you even put the that's how it even resonates with your work,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't let trials and shit like that stop me from doing nothing, so
Mm-hmm.
she was so happy because she was on her way to an appointment and somebody canceled, and then she came to me, and then I sprained my leg. Well, I'm like, oh, so girl, you're not going outside, I'm gonna do your hair. So that's something that she was appreciative of. So yeah, I do not cancel appointment. I try to work around things. Customer service is very important to me. Patience, understanding, and just all the way around. As a business person, you definitely have to learn how to compromise and communicate. So I would not cancel. I would try to work it out. It has to be if I have to fly out or something, or I'm sick, or even when I'm sick, I'll go to the hospital for a few hours and I'll come back and resume work. You could ask my mom.
Wow.
So I'm dedicated to what I do because I actually I grew a passion for it. So I really love what you do, and it's a reflection too. Like when you love what you do, it reflects in your work.
Mm-hmm.
It reflects in your work, and I love seeing the smile on everyone's face. Like when I'm finished, I was like, like Alton always say, yo, it's such my Ishie. You're the baddest. You're the baddest. So I love that I give people self-confidence. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, you're depressed and shit, and you go get your hair done, and you feel like the baddest in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So I love seeing people's heart filled with just love and the self-confidence that they were lacking. So yeah.
Okay. Well, just give them your socials and.
Okay, so my Instagram is touched by Ishie. It's @_TOUCHEDBYISHIE_. That's where you find me. There's a link in my bio where you could click, and it brings you to the services, the availabilities, and the times of the appointments, and the pricing, and everything you need to know, the policies, everything is there. So that's where you can find me, and I hope I'll be seeing you guys soon, because I'm always ready to slay.
Thank you so much.